Here's something Home Depot definitely doesn't want you knowing about right now. In February 2026, they're quietly discontinuing several tool lines that contractors have been relying on for years. And before these disappear forever, they're being marked down to clearance prices that make premium brands look absolutely ridiculous. We're talking equipment getting slashed because Home Depot needs the shelf space for their next product launches. But here's what makes this urgent. Once these tools are gone, they're gone. No rain checks, no back orders, just empty shelves and regret. I've spent the last 2 weeks hitting every Home Depot within a 50-mile radius, and what I found is going to help you understand where the real clearance deals hide. The crazy part is how secretive they are about this whole process. Store managers aren't advertising these discontinuations. There are no big banners or email blasts announcing massive tool clearances. They just quietly move this stuff to the clearance end caps and hope most customers walk right past without noticing. That's exactly why smart tool buyers patrol those clearance sections like hawks. They know that's where the real deals hide, buried between returned paint cans and discontinued light fixtures. And right now, that clearance section is loaded with tools at prices that would make specialty tool retailers nervous. The psychology behind these markdowns is fascinating. Home Depot knows most shoppers associate clearance sections with damaged goods and factory seconds, so they're banking on that stigma to keep the average customer walking right past some of the better tool deals of the year. But contractors and serious DIYers know better. They know that discontinued doesn't mean defective. It just means the manufacturer updated their packaging or launched a new model with a slightly different color scheme and a higher price tag. The tools being cleared out right now are often the same quality that was selling at full retail just months ago. Let's talk about why tools get discontinued in the first place. It's rarely about quality. Most of the time, it's pure business strategy. A manufacturer launches a new line with updated packaging and a higher price tag. The old version works just fine, but it doesn't fit the marketing narrative anymore. Home Depot needs to move inventory fast to make room for the new stuff, which means price drops on perfectly functional tools. That's the game nobody explains when you're wandering those orange aisles. But smart contractors know this is when you look closely, because you're finding yesterday's equipment at reduced prices. Home Depot's Husky brand ratcheting wrench sets show up in clearance when new packaging rolls out. These are built from chrome vanadium steel, with ratcheting mechanisms that need minimal swing arc to turn bolts. When you're working in tight spaces under a dashboard or behind an engine, that difference between needing 5 degrees versus 30 degrees of clearance is the difference between finishing the job and struggling with limited access. The flex head design on many models lets you angle the wrench to reach bolts at awkward positions, so you're not doing contortionist routines trying to access fasteners. Contractors often stock up on these when they hit clearance because at reduced prices, you can afford backup sets. One for the tool bag, one for the truck, one for the home garage, even that project car sitting in the driveway. The comfort grip handles make a difference after spending hours turning bolts. Your hands notice the difference between bare metal and rubberized grips. It's like wearing work gloves versus going barehanded. Sure, you can do the job either way, but one option leaves you less miserable at day's end. What makes these clearance opportunities special is that Home Depot's house brands like Husky compete directly with professional tool brands on specifications and build quality. The main difference often comes down to branding and distribution channels rather than actual manufacturing quality. Many house brand tools come from the same factories that produce premium brands, just with different logos stamped on them. This is one of those industry secrets that tool retailers don't exactly advertise. When you're buying clearance Husky tools, you're often getting identical manufacturing quality to tools that cost 2 or 3 times as much from brands that sponsor racing teams and spend millions on advertising. The lifetime warranty on many Husky hand tools matches what premium brands offer, except you can walk into any Home Depot for replacements instead of tracking down specialized dealers. Here's where the discontinuation game gets really interesting. Ryobi's 18-volt impact drivers that aren't the latest brushless model often get marked down when newer versions launch. The brushless versions cost more, but here's the secret nobody talks about. For most DIY projects and light professional work, the performance difference is minimal. Both deliver enough torque to sink deck screws through pressure-treated lumber. Both use the same battery platform. The older brushed motor versions actually run cooler under sustained use because they don't push as hard. Framing crews sometimes prefer the older discontinued models because impact drivers get dropped, lost, or damaged on job sites. Why pay premium prices for something that faces harsh conditions daily? That's contractor math that makes sense when buying tools with your own money. The real genius here is understanding what you actually need versus what marketing tells you to want. Brushless motors last longer and deliver slightly more power per battery charge. But when doing basic carpentry, light remodeling, or furniture assembly, that extra performance often goes unused. It's like buying a sports car for grocery shopping. The discontinued models handle deck building, fence installation, shed construction, and countless weekend projects without issue. Variable speed triggers give precise control for delicate work. LED lights illuminate dark corners better than most flashlights. And at clearance prices, you can sometimes afford backup units. The battery platform consideration matters more than most people realize. Ryobi's One Plus system means batteries work across dozens of different tools. When you buy into this ecosystem at clearance prices, you're not just getting one tool. You're getting access to an entire platform of compatible equipment. That discontinued impact driver might be your entry point into a whole collection of lawn equipment, lights, fans, and other cordless tools that share the same power source. This interoperability is why experienced tool users stick with one battery platform rather than mixing brands. Having 3 different battery systems means 3 different chargers, 3 different battery stocks, and constant frustration when you grab the wrong battery for your tool. Clearance discontinued tools let you build that single platform collection without paying full retail for every piece. Milwaukee branded utility knives occasionally hit clearance at Home Depot when product lines refresh. All metal construction means they survive drops from ladders that would shatter plastic competitors. Tool-free blade changes take seconds, not minutes of fumbling with screwdriver slots while fingers freeze in winter weather. Blade storage compartments in the handle mean you're not digging through toolboxes for replacements when halfway through cutting drywall. Some models include wire stripper notches for electrical work. The textured grip pattern isn't just decorative. When hands are covered in drywall dust, paint, or job site grime, you need grip texture that works when dirty. Smooth plastic handles become slippery the second they get wet. Quality utility knives maintain grip even when conditions are messy, which on construction sites is basically always. Contractors appreciate having utility knives distributed throughout job sites instead of walking back to the tool pile every time someone needs to open a package or score a cut line. The time savings alone can justify keeping multiple units on hand. The blade locking mechanism matters significantly for safety and performance. Cheap knives use simple friction locks that slip under pressure, which is exactly when you need the blade to stay put. Better designs use positive locking mechanisms that require deliberate action to release. This prevents the blade from retracting mid-cut, which creates jagged edges and potential safety hazards. The blade depth adjustment should lock positively at various positions. Different materials require different blade exposure. Cutting thin materials like paper or plastic wrap needs minimal blade extension. Cutting thick materials like carpet padding or roofing felt requires maximum extension. Being able to adjust and lock blade depth for each task prevents damage to underlying surfaces and extends blade life by using only the necessary cutting edge. Now we're getting into power tools that raise questions about retail pricing strategies. Rigid's 12-inch sliding compound miter saws sometimes get discontinued when new models with digital features launch. The older models cut just as straight, but lack Bluetooth connectivity and digital displays. Those fancy features look impressive in marketing videos, but don't make cuts any straighter. The dual bevel feature means you can tilt the blade left or right without flipping your workpiece. When cutting crown molding or complex angles, that's the difference between precision cuts and expensive scrap wood. Laser guide systems on quality saws actually work, unlike budget models where the laser points somewhere other than where the blade cuts. Trim carpenters often stick with proven models rather than chasing new features. The sliding action extends cross-cut capacity, which means cutting standard dimensional lumber in single passes. Dust collection ports on better models actually capture sawdust instead of spraying it everywhere like budget saws. Repeatable accuracy matters for professional work. Set your angle once, and it stays locked through hundreds of cuts. What separates good miter saws from great ones often comes down to these small details that don't show up in basic spec sheets. The fence alignment needs to stay true under repeated use. The bevel stops need to click precisely into common angles like 45 and 33.9 degrees, without requiring constant adjustment. The blade guard needs to retract smoothly without catching or binding. These are the things you discover after cutting hundreds of pieces, not from reading marketing materials. When professional trim carpenters choose a discontinued model over the latest release, they're making that choice based on reliability and proven performance rather than feature checklists. A saw that cuts accurately year after year beats a saw with wireless connectivity that needs calibration every month. The motor amperage matters more than most homeowners realize. A 15-amp motor provides consistent power through hardwoods and dense materials without bogging down or burning out. Underpowered saws might handle softwood fine, but struggle when you're cutting oak, maple, or composite materials. That power difference becomes obvious when you're making repetitive cuts all day, rather than occasional weekend projects. Husky's multi-piece mechanics tool sets hit clearance when Home Depot updates packaging or introduces new configurations. These comprehensive sets include sockets, ratchets, wrenches, screwdrivers, and hex keys organized in cases. Chrome vanadium steel construction provides durability. Deep sockets handle long bolts. Shallow sockets work where space is tight. 6-point designs grip bolt heads properly instead of rounding them off like some 12-point alternatives. At clearance prices, mechanics buy these as backup sets or starter kits for apprentices. When you consider replacement costs for individual sockets, comprehensive sets offer value by just existing in your workspace. The case organization matters more than people think. A well-designed case with labeled slots means you immediately notice missing pieces. That 10mm socket everyone jokes about losing becomes obvious when its spot sits empty. Cheap cases let everything jumble together, turning tool access into an archaeological dig every time you need something specific. Blow-molded cases with custom-fit slots keep every piece exactly where it belongs. This organization saves time on every single job. Instead of sorting through loose sockets trying to find the right size, you go straight to the correct slot. Over weeks and months of regular use, those seconds add up to hours of saved time. The ratchet quality in these sets determines long-term satisfaction more than socket count. A smooth operating ratchet with fine tooth count makes work easier. Coarse ratchets that need wide swing arcs become frustrating in tight spaces. The switch mechanism for changing direction should operate positively without ambiguity about which direction you're driving. These details separate professional grade sets from homeowner grade sets, regardless of whether the branding says premium or budget. Clearance discontinued sets often include these quality features at fractions of their original retail prices because Home Depot needs to move old packaging off shelves. Pressure washer attachment kits from brands like Glacier Bay show up in clearance when Home Depot rotates inventory. These kits include rotating brushes, extension wands, soap dispensers, and multiple spray nozzles. A pressure washer without proper attachments is like having capability without application. Sure, it's powerful, but you're not using that power effectively or efficiently at all. Rotating brushes transform deck cleaning from all-day projects into shorter jobs. Dirt can't hide from brushes spinning while water blasts underneath. Extension wands let you clean second-story siding without climbing ladders. Soap dispensers eliminate manual application attempts. Professional pressure washing operations use these attachments because they save time, and time matters when working efficiently. The nozzle selection in quality kits covers different spray patterns for different surfaces. 0-degree nozzles concentrate water into powerful streams for concrete and heavy stains. 25-degree nozzles balance power and coverage for general cleaning. 40-degree nozzles provide wider, gentler spray for delicate surfaces like windows or painted siding. Soap nozzles create low-pressure flow that allows detergent to work without blasting it off surfaces immediately. Understanding which nozzle to use prevents damage while maximizing cleaning effectiveness. Portable work tables from brands like Workforce get discontinued when new models launch. These folding tables support significant weight, stand at comfortable working heights, and set up quickly. Contractors use them as mobile workbenches, saw horses, assembly stations, and temporary work surfaces at job sites. Aluminum frames mean they're light enough to carry with one hand, but strong enough to hold power tools without wobbling. Quick clamp systems let you secure materials for cutting without juggling separate clamps. When working solo, that built-in clamping makes complicated cuts possible instead of frustrating. Fold-flat designs mean they stack efficiently and deploy faster than traditional sawhorses. Rolling tool chests from Home Depot's HDX brand sometimes hit clearance during product line transitions. Steel construction with multiple drawers on ball-bearing slides provides organized storage. Top compartments open fully for larger items. Bottom drawers handle weight without sagging or jamming. Rolling casters let you move entire tool collections around garages or job sites without emptying drawers. Professional technicians often spend considerably more on name-brand tool chests for similar functionality. Powder coat finishes resist scratches and rust better than cheap paint that chips quickly. At clearance prices, you're getting storage that will outlast many tools inside it. Mechanics sometimes buy these for home garages, even when they have storage at work, because keeping personal tools separate from work equipment means always knowing where everything is. Drawer organization alone justifies purchases. No more digging through jumbled toolboxes trying to find specific sockets or keys while projects sit half-finished. Everything has a place, and you can see at a glance what you have and what you're missing. Lockable designs add security for job site storage or keeping tools safe in shared spaces. The mobility factor transforms how you work in shop spaces. Instead of walking back and forth between your workbench and a stationary tool chest, you roll your tools directly to wherever you're working. This becomes especially valuable in larger garage spaces or when working on vehicles where you need tools accessible from multiple angles. The drawer depth progression in quality tool chests follows ergonomic logic. Top drawers shallow enough for frequently accessed hand tools and small items. Middle drawers deeper for larger hand tools and power tool accessories. Bottom drawers deepest for bulky items and less frequently accessed equipment. This vertical organization means you're not bending to floor level every time you need common tools. Your back appreciates this design after hours of shop work. The drawer dividers and organizers available for these chests let you customize storage for specific tool collections. Socket organizer rails keep metric and standard sizes separated and visible. Wrench holders present each size clearly. Screwdriver racks prevent the jumbled mess that happens when drivers pile together loosely. Here's what nobody tells you about discontinuation sales at big box stores. The markdown schedule follows patterns. Tools start at modest discounts when they first get clearance tags. Weeks later, discounts deepen. But here's the catch with timing. The best stuff disappears at early markdowns. By the time prices hit rock bottom, you're left with picked-over inventory in sizes nobody wanted. The tools worth finding are sitting in that middle zone. Decent discounts, but still available in quantities that let you actually buy them. Every day you wait is another day experienced tool buyers are loading carts. Check your local Home Depot clearance section. Look for the orange stickers that signal discounts, and grab useful tools before they join that long list of discontinued products everyone wishes they'd bought when available. The smart money moves on these situations, and once they're gone forever, you'll be kicking yourself for waiting too long. These aren't opportunities that repeat. When Home Depot discontinues a tool line, they're not bringing it back next season with different numbers. It's truly gone for good, replaced by whatever new product line marketing decided would move better off the shelves. Learning to shop clearance sections strategically means understanding store inventory cycles. New product launches typically happen in spring and fall when contractors are gearing up for busy seasons. This means winter and summer often see the best clearance deals as stores make room for incoming inventory. Regional differences matter too. Stores in areas with less construction activity might carry clearance inventory longer than stores in booming markets, where contractors snap up deals immediately. Checking multiple Home Depot locations in your immediate area can reveal dramatically different clearance inventory selections. What sits untouched in a suburban store might be long gone from an urban location near commercial construction zones. The clearance end caps near main aisles get picked over quickly because they're visible to all shoppers, but stores often have secondary clearance areas in back corners or near pro desks where contractors shop. These spots sometimes hold better selections because casual shoppers never notice them at all.